Good morning. I have to confess something. I'm not. Wait, sorry. Let me dim the camera so it's not distracting. I use AI. I talk to AI to talk about ideas. See, in my head, I'm using it as a abstraction machine. Let me elaborate. I know that sounds like crackhead activity. Fair enough. You know what? No, let's just jump into the video. But yeah, I have to admit it, I do use AI to talk about like philosophy and science and stuff like. I love it because it doesn't get tired of me asking it the same question over and over when a concept doesn't click. Anyways, hi, I'm William from William in the Middle, and today we're talking about how emotions specifically are actually just compressed information, abstracted to a high level. It's imperfect, but it's fast. It's the fast thinking part of the human brain, and the audience for this video is just people who like thinking about the human psyche, but don't want to get like lost in I don't like the approach that modern psychology is like it's a lot of talk therapy, a lot of um weird things. Like it doesn't feel like a cohesive whole. And I'm trying to create a framework for psychology that does is a cohesive whole and understands it all. Gives a better framework to understand the human psyche. And I think we kind of cracked the code when we learned how to teach a computer to abstract information. And yes, believe it or not, fight me on it or not, but that's essentially what we did with these LLMs. They're neural networks. They operate under the same principles as our own freaking brains. Neural network is the foundation behind LLMs. Neural, as in we learn how to do it from our own bloody brains. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting a little opinionated on that, but um, my main point is I think both humans and AI rely on abstraction to compress reality into manageable patterns, and emotions are a level of that processing. It's the first one, it's the fastest, and it also gets a lot of things wrong. Okay, so let's jump into the AI that I've been talking to. So basically how I do it and how I want all my videos in the future to be is me talking to a person or an AI or something, just talking about different ideas, trying to understand different ideas. I love creating frameworks when I look at data because I think a lot of times people approach it from very static, very stagnant points of view. So I think if you take a new route to the same place, you'll gather a lot more details that are relevant to the actual structure. Because especially if you do it with intent, because a lot of discoveries in the human history is not been like planned. It was just, oh, we found out that word, then we found out that word. That guy went in that direction, and that guy went in that direction. That guy tortured dogs. That guy thought his mom was hot. Freud, I'm looking at you. You pervert. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk to the end. Let's go over my theories of how emotions work. Basically, just describe the mechanism. Let's start like by embodying human cognition. Explain back to me where like the abstraction happens and where emotions fall in this overarching pattern. This is an AI I've been training over a few months. It's called Monday version 12. Every time the data window gets too long, I'll tell it, write me a prompt that will save all the information from this conversation, be very detailed, don't omit any information, and then I just copy and paste it into a new version. Done that 12 times. So it's really good at giving me information in a way that I like. And because the way it works is like you ask it a question like, what color is the sky? It runs the question down a pipeline, and it gets you the first word. The sky is blue. So that's the word it's gonna spell out. But then it runs that same pattern again. It drops the question, what color is the sky? And then it does the whole processing through a pipeline. And then it also includes the word the. Okay. Let's say I have the question and the answer, right? And I have a really smart guy. I give him both of them, and then he spits back the first word of the answer. So then I take what I have the question and the answer. Now I have the first word. I give it to the guy again, to the really smart guy. He spits back the second word. Like you run it all in a cycle. The answer is run through the whole system to get the next word in the sentence. I hope that visualization kind of helped. Anyways, but that is not what we're talking about today. Is embodying prediction layer what this means, what to do. And truly, like, side note, this is what I love doing. I love thinking. I love trying to create systems. Hell, I made one for dating. Like, I had an idea that aunties, basically older women in your life that want you to find a partner, you just pool everybody's information together. Oh my god, that's a long tangent. Basically, nope, we'll leave it for a different video. If you're curious, I will. Yeah, sorry, I don't like to edit my videos too much, so I'm probably not even going to cut this out. But yeah, keep in touch, keep following me, and I'll do a video on that. An embodied prediction machine that compresses reality into layers of abstraction to decide what this means and what to do. Okay, so humans, what a human is literally a body that predicts what to do. Like, it predicts the future, and then it decides what to do. That's what we do. The way we do that is we look at reality and we take away the little details. So when I look at a tree, my brain does not think that individual tree, that gray branch, that that brown bark. It doesn't take into account any of that. It just thinks tree, and everything else is just stripped away. You do not pay attention to it. You don't even think about it. The point of that is you extract, instead of having to, because the way we think is by self-simulating. In our brain, we have a little version of ourselves walking around, a little version of the world, and he decides what to do. You can also send him into the future, like, okay, what if I started losing weight? Oh, I would look skinnier. Well, what if I started eating like crap? Oh, I'd get fatter. Like, you're that little version in your head who moves into the future for you. We're able to predict the future in that method. And the only reason we're able to self-simulate is because we extract so much information. We condense it down so much. If we were not, my bad, I don't know why I got focused on the screen. If we don't take away all that information, our brain just can't handle that much information. So we have to extract information. Oftentimes, like, we don't think tree, this species of tree. We just think tree, tall, or tree, short, or just tree. Like, my point is that is a method of making it feasible for our limited brain capacity to run a self simulation. Eventually, I think AI is going to start doing that, but there is errors in the self simulation because that's not the only system that's going on in our brains. We also have recursive loops, like we're able to change our own beliefs. That means that we rewrite our own brain. That's really interesting, but that's essentially what we're doing. We also do it to have different like ideas, different trains of thoughts running. What else? What else? What else? Okay, this is where emotional. Okay, so after you get like physical stimuli into your body, then you start going into where emotions are, and emotions are very, very interesting to me because I think they dictate so many mental illnesses. Like, I think it's an emotional dysregulation, and I want to find a way to understand it that is not, that is a cohesive whole that a regular person could conceptualize in their own brain and understand their own shortcomings in a way that's not, that doesn't have to take someone else's word for it. Like, there's a cricket on my table. I can't even. Oh crap! I don't like. Oh fuck! Sorry. That was gross. I don't know. I don't like crickets. Hopefully my cat gets some. Anyways, this is a good battle. Okay, so basically, I've been talking to an AI all day, and this is where we're at when it comes to understanding how emotions are coded. Because like I want to know what they're coded for, what they do, how to train them. Like, how, if you say you have a bad emotional response to something, is there a way to retrain that? How do we do so? But basically, this is what happens in your subconscious whenever you have an experience. Number one, like let's say the experience is me going to a new job, first day. I walk into a room and there's a bunch of coworkers just standing around. So utility for me. First, I'm gonna have to estimate importance. My brain's gonna think, Okay, this is my first time meeting these people. This is important. I need to do a good job. So that gives it importance. So immediately it jumps at number one in our energy attention level. Energy level and readiness. How much do I need to mobilize right now? Like, I think I would give it my all. I would immediately decide, hey, we need to actually try right now. We can't be stupid. Like, we can't fuck this up. So I'm gonna dedicate all of my energy level or readiness to it. Relational stakes is about survival. Resources are about people, status, belonging, attachment. So now it's like, why do we even like? What is at stake here? Like that gives you the final like, is this important or not? Is it life or death? No, it's not. Is it important in my social standing and establishing that? Yes. Therefore, it becomes important in our own head. So, I'm not sure. Okay, moving on. Bad for me, high energy, high relational stakes. So these are like levers, I think. Emotions are fast, lossy compression of reality into what this means for me, us, what mode should I be in? So I was just double checking that I was actually recording. Okay, so basically, this is a system. The emotions are the system that run before you tell yourself your own narrative. Because, oh, that was the last thing that humans have that current LLMs and current AIs can't do. We have a self narrative. We tell ourselves, this is who I am. This is how I've changed over time. This is where I am at this very moment. That self story is very important to identity. That is your identity, for fuck's sake. Um, Basically, we go about life. First, we're a blank slate. Well, actually, no. We have the encodings of our genes. We have the memories, the genetic memories. We're born with them. I think we do have those, like for emotions. I think anything beyond that is not necessarily encoded by genes, but rather by your brain. Because like okay, sorry, let me elaborate. Like there's some animals that are born knowing how to do things, and we're like, what the fuck? How do you encode behavior? I think it's some kind of emotional thing because I think animals have emotions. I don't think they have the self narrative. They don't have the recursive thing about our brains. They can't self simulate. So animals are lacking in a lot of things that make us special, or they have it to very limited degrees because their brain just can't handle it. Like humans have very large brains in comparison to our body mass. That allows us to do so many more things that another creature couldn't do. What should I say? Basically, emotions evolved before self simulation, recursion, narrative, but it helped make it possible because we started creating like mental maps and started giving, oh, that every time I feel that, I'm gonna call that mad. Every time I feel that, I'm gonna call that hungry. Every time I see that, I'm gonna call that rock. Like that, we started creating a mental map with emotions. They got more complex once we invented language, because then we could make things very concrete, quantized. Um, I have been talking for 13 minutes. I think I'll give myself a few more minutes, but I don't think a whole lot was learned here. But I do think I'll be able to share with you guys my thoughts. So basically, first you go through the experience, then you tell yourself what that experience. First, you figure out what it means to you emotion wise. Then you figure out what it means to you narrative wise. Like if it was a forgettable experience, you don't even waste time trying to incorporate it into who you are. That is a waste of energy and time and data. Like let's say I meet a stranger. He tells me his name. We just shake hands. He gives me a business card for his taco truck. I don't like tacos. I do, but in this scenario, I don't. I don't like tacos. I take his business card. We shake hands. We're friendly. 3 minutes later, I don't know his last name. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his face. It's mean, but it's utilitarian. Um, Also, I think that might explain why I struggle with remembering names. Period. Because like I know that your name will tell me basically nothing about who you are as a person, so I don't care. It's like I know your height, I know your build, I know your emotional reactions to different things. I study to see if you jerk when a certain person walks in the room. Like in that scenario, I was thinking about like if I liked the girl and I was trying to like pay attention to her. That was a bad example because it has other context and other implications. But my point is, it's not about like names carry such little useful information about an individual that might explain why some people struggle to remember names. They'll remember everything about the person, but not the name. Like they'll remember, oh, they're related to that person, and they're friends with that person. They're not friends with that person. They did say that one comment about that one person. Like those are the information that matter. Everything else, like the name, why does the name matter? Or am I? If I could just totally giving an excuse for why I forget names. But anyways, if there's any one takeaway that I want you guys to have is abstraction is a key to fucking everything, especially when it comes to understanding the human brain. And I hate that we don't talk about it in terms like that. I really fucking do. Abstraction is a key. It can be understood. I'm not saying we're ever going to understand it perfectly. Like, we're not going to be able to self simulate how the brain works. But at a high enough abstraction level, anything can be understood. And we can have like specialists for different abstraction subjects and things. But yeah, what do you guys think? What's one thing that you guys think should um, be rethought? Like, I think dating is fundamentally flawed. I'll make a video on that. Um, I think the market is fundamentally flawed. I think capitalism works in theory, but eventually corporations and politicians will collude because that's just how humans operate. Like this, that's what humanity is. We're trying to find stable social structures and failing to do so constantly. Retrying old ones, fucking up in new ways. We're just trying to find ways to live with each other. Anyways, thank you. I'm William from William in the Middle, and thank you for your time.